Welcome to the start of Season 5 for my Philadelphia Eagles franchise here on Madden 23. Now, usually in the preseason, I watch at least one game, but I think this one we are just going to go over the two guys that I added off screen and then simulate every game and do all the roster cuts real fast. Probably not going to be a very long episode, but I don't think there's really any need to watch any of the preseason games for this season. And I did just lie. We actually added 3 players because I forgot to add a punter in the actual offseason video, so I've now signed punter Scott Eaton. And another player that I added off screen is tight end Zach Ertz. We used him all of last season. I was hoping he would finally retire as an Eagle. He did not, but no one signed him in free agency, so we went ahead and picked him back up to be our third string tight end again. And the final player I signed is wide receiver Christian Watson, pretty much just for a little bit more wide receiver depth and a veteran presence in the receiver room in general, because outside of AJ and Devontae, it's a pretty young room. But pretty much I am just going to simulate all 3 preseason games now. We will go back and look at all of the results and stuff like that and see if there are any injuries in these games. But there's no position battles that I'm really interested in, so like I said, there's no reason to watch any of these. And we actually go undefeated in the preseason. We defeat Buffalo 17-15, defeat the Browns 28-20, and the Patriots 27-23. But sadly, we do have an injury to start the season. Jordan Davis has a dislocated ankle and will miss the first 6 weeks of the season. I think it'll just be the first 5 though, because I'm currently in that weird in-between phase between the preseason and the regular season. But now I get to make 12 roster moves to get down to the 53-man roster. And the first move we are making is defensive back Julian Griffith. We are trading him to Denver for a 7th round pick. So essentially for nothing, but we at least get a 7th round pick than actually get nothing. And the next roster move I have made is sending defensive end Drake Jackson over to Seattle for a 3rd round pick. And now getting into cutting players and moving players over to the practice squad, the first player that's going to get moved over there is wide receiver Khalid Tucker. And then for the next move, I'm going to cut right tackle Okafor here because he is now my 3rd string tackle after I signed Mekhi Becton, because Kyle Robinson, he was solid last year, but I think we need more of an immediate impact, and Becton was right there in free agency, so we're going to cut Okafor since he is now the 3rd string. And right outside linebacker Paul Thompson was actually a 3rd round pick this year, but he is only a 60 overall. We're just going to move him to the practice squad. We will give him some time to develop before I just straight up cut him, and we are also going to move outside linebacker Mario Raymond over there, who was a 7th round pick and is actually better than Thompson already. I'm also going to move defensive back Oscar Newhouse over to the practice squad, and Dalton Aiken will probably be the lowest man on the depth chart here, and if he has to touch the field, we are not in a good position. And Nathan Bates was a 5th round pick, but we're going to move him to the practice squad as well. And I would like to move one more person, but we kind of can't because Jordan Davis is injured, and we probably need to take at least a couple other guys with us just in case. And in a move I don't think some of you are going to like here, I am trading wide receiver Darius McGee, who has been on the team for several years, but he is being sent to the Colts for a 2nd round pick. And for the next one, I am trading our backup center Theo McKinney and a 3rd round pick in the next draft to Tampa Bay, who will immediately start Theo McKinney, and we get a 2nd and a 3rd round pick back in the next draft. And Kai Fitzgerald was a 6th round pick in the last draft, but we're going to move him to our practice squad as well. And then the last move we're going to make is running back Malachi Reed, who was the next to last pick in the draft. He was round 7, pick 31. We're going to move him to the practice squad as well. And now we will go over what the starting depth chart will be for this team, and obviously starting at quarterback will be Glenn McCutcheon. He is the undisputed starter. And then 3rd-year running back Brian Ford will get the start here as an 81 overall. Ramondre Stevenson and Kennedy Brooks will back him up. Wide receiver, not a whole lot has changed. Obviously, no more Quez Watkins, but we do have Christian Peck down here with 97 speed, so he's not much slower than Watkins with his 99. And then Caleb Lacey will be the wide receiver 4, and Christian Watson will right now be the wide receiver 5 for the outside. Starting at tight end, once again, undisputed starter is going to be Dallas Goedert. His backup is Teddy Austin going into his 2nd year. And now I will attempt to go through the entire offensive line in one take. Jordan Mailata will be our starter at a 92 overall. At left guard will be Landon Dickerson, who's an 85. Center is going to be Grant Rogan. We have 2 rookie centers. Barnett is listed as a day 1 starter in his player tag, but Grant Rogan is listed as a future starter and has a hidden depth trait, so that is why we are going to start him. At right guard will be Evan Steffa, who is an 85 overall, and at right tackle is brand new right tackle Mekhi Becton. At defensive end, we will have a 91 overall X-Factor Josh Sweat. At the other defensive end, we will start David Fernandez for now, but Spencer Hilton is right there. He was our 1st round pick. He's listed as a future starter, And then a defensive tackle for right now until Jordan Davis is back, we have Thomas Daniels and Kamani Jenkins. Left outside linebacker will be rookie outside linebacker John Herrera, who is currently a 73 overall. We took him in the second round. He is listed as a day one starter and has a hidden depth trait. At middle linebacker, we will have Nakobe Dean, who is an 82 overall, backed up by rookie George Burns, who is now a 70 overall. At outside linebacker, we have Kaiser White, who is an 83 overall, backed up by Seth Collins, who is a 72 overall. And not much changed here at cornerback. Sean Murphy-Bunting will obviously be our number one corner, followed by Earl Hayden, followed by Caleb Farley, and then Jason Flowers. The only new addition here is rookie Dalton Aiken out of Notre Dame. And then free safety will be James Conley, who was an 80 overall, backed up by Theo Norwood. Now, I took Norwood in the second round of the draft. He is a 74 overall with a hidden depth trait. Conley's contract should be coming up relatively soon, so if he doesn't want to re-sign, obviously Norwood would fit right in that spot most likely. And then strong safety is CJ Gardner-Johnson. And for special teams, Jake Elliott will be the kicker, and then Scott Eaton will be the punter. At kick return, we will put Christian Peck, and I believe he is also our punt returner. Our third down back will be Brian Ford, but our power back will be Ramondre Stevenson with his 87 trucking. And the reason I worded that Christian Watson would be our fifth outside receiver the way I did is because he will be our starting receiver in the slot. Our rushing left end will be Josh Sweat. Our rushing right end will be Spencer Hilton, so we can see what his depth trait is. He does have a hidden depth trait, so obviously needs to play 500 downs. And our rushing defensive tackle will be Thomas Daniels and Kamani Jenkins. Our sub linebacker will currently be Nakobe Dean, and our slot corner will be Caleb Farley for the second year in a row. And for this season, instead of making our goal win the Super Bowl, which is super aggressive, we're just going to make the playoffs. We've made it to the last 3 Super Bowls. If we don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, I think our job is probably safe. But that is going to wrap up this preseason video. Like I said, probably not a very long video. But in the next one, we will kick off the season in a Super Bowl rematch against the Indianapolis Colts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time.